I'm just not very good at this. It's not for me. And it over time just builds up and you hate doing it. Now, it's one of the reasons that people stop making calls or say that cold calling doesn't work. But it does. You just need to set yourself up right. And you need to think about it differently, right? Maintaining motivation and momentum when you're trying to hit high numbers of calls every day is really tough. It's a massive challenge. I've struggled with it before. My students have struggled with it. Everyone has had it at some point. You start the day and you're really focused. You've got your list ready. You've sorted your day plan out. You're like, this is my 3 hours here. I'm going to make calls. I'm going to make more calls than anyone's ever made today. I'm going to absolutely nail it. And you start off really well, like a bat out of hell. You start breaking the back of that list. You've made loads of calls. You've had a lot of no's, but you've had a couple of good conversations, a couple of little things that have kept you going. But you keep powering through. And then as you get towards lunch, you start just looking at the clock a little bit and you think, still quite a big list. Let's just get a couple more done. Let's get through to lunch. I'll just rest up and then I'll be focused again when I come back from lunch. And you get there, you limp through to lunch, go and have lunch, you come back and you look at that list and you just think, oh, can't do any more. I'm done. And you just start trying to get through the list and make the calls just for the sake of making the calls. And then somebody answers the phone and you're just not there. Mentally, you're not there. Emotionally, you're not there. You deliver the opener that you've got planned. You might fumble it a little bit, or your tone's off, your pacing's off, doesn't land right. The whole call just goes a little bit, it's not quite what you want. And that's not where we want to be. Because by the end of the day, you get there and you're like, what a waste of a day. Like, I've really struggled. That call was rubbish. And I messed that up. I'm just not very good at this. It's not for me. And it over time just builds up and you hate doing it. Now, it's one of the reasons that people stop making calls or say that cold calling doesn't work. But it does. You just need to set yourself up right. And you need to think about it differently, right? So I've found, and research has backed it up, that you can only really concentrate at optimal full levels for 20 to 25 minutes. After that, it starts to drop off. You might be able to get through half an hour, 40 minutes thinking you're all right, but it is dropping off. It is more of a struggle. So I built into my day, so I'd have that 3, 4 hour block of calls, but I'd break it up into 20 to 25 minute chunks. And I'd have little breaks in between where it was only a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and it might be just go and get a coffee or have a quick walk around the block, increase my Duolingo streak, play Wordle, scroll LinkedIn, make a LinkedIn bit of content, something like that. That's not a phone call because a change is as good as a rest. So you don't need to do nothing. You can still be productive. You might quickly check your emails, reply to one, get back on it. But you have to be strict when you do that and be like, right, this is my timer. So it's called the Pomodoro technique. I've got the Pomodoro app on my phone, so you can set it up at the beginning of the day, press go, and then off you go, and it will give you the timers and an alarm will go off when it's time to start and stop. So you can organize your day better. And that means you can maintain that motivation throughout the day. So when somebody does pick up the phone, you are still in a good state of mind. You're still energetic. You're still able to nail the tone, nail the pacing, nail the rapport, ask the great questions and get good information out so that your calls can be amazing. Because at the end of the day, a recruiter is only as good as the calls they're making. So if your calls are rubbish because you're exhausted and you're drained and you're not motivated and you've got no momentum going, you're not going to be a good recruiter. Whereas if you're energetic and your concentration is still there, you're motivated, you're smashing your openers, you're having really good conversations, you're going to get great stuff out of it, and you're going to get loads of activity from that call. Your pipeline's going to be more full, and you're going to be a great recruiter because of it. Just by simply breaking down that time chunking, and it might sound a bit contradictory of like, oh, you've got 4 hours just to focus on calls, but you're going to take little breaks that do different things. The main focus of that time is still the phone calls. So yes, you might flick onto your emails, but that is a secondary thing that you're doing. The calls take priority there, right? You're just going to check them just to get out of the headspace of making a phone call for a minute to come back in refreshed. So don't get me wrong, you're still doing 3 to 4 hours there in that chunk of focusing on phone calls and smashing phone calls. It doesn't have to be that long, but that's how long I used to do. And it's just the 20 minutes, 25 minutes, really hyper focused on those phone calls. Quickly flick away, change that mindset, come back to it refreshed. That is a really effective way of planning your day, keeping the motivation up, and generating momentum. Because I always found momentum was a thing. Once you make a placement, you make 2, you make 3, you make 4. You take the foot off the gas, placement stop. Same with calls, same with meetings, same with CVs. It all keeps coming. They come in bunches. Once you start getting 1, you get 2, you get 3, you get 4, you get 5. And the momentum's there, the motivation's there. You start enjoying it, and it's great fun, and you really smash phone calls, become a great call, like BD call caller, start building rapport really easily, really nicely. It all just flows. So build those little breaks into your day just to help keep that momentum going.